Hello guys, today CA Inter audit paper you guys have written. Now your focus should be on the next paper, right? We are going to discuss today just about MCQs for now, right? Descriptive analysis will come soon, clear, right? So what we'll be doing is we'll be discussing about MCQs. Whatever is your answer, all right? Don't think too much about this paper, that what you have done and what is going to happen, how will the correction will be they'll be doing, nothing about that, right? Your focus should be on the next paper now. And this particular paper is kind of a judgmental paper, right? My honest review is the descriptive part is not that difficult. It was an average paper. And MCQ, some of the questions were tricky, and some of it direct. I mean, they have given as a case study, but we can solve it just by reading some questions as well. Okay, so on an average, overall, I would say it is a manageable paper. Yeah, not too difficult, not too easy as well. Little bit of thinking you have to do, right? So shall we begin? MCQs only for now, right? First question. Mrs. DEF Associates have been appointed as statutory auditor of JKL Limited for the first time, right? For the financial year 24-25, first time. Engagement partner CAD is briefing his engagement team about the need of engagement standards, quality control standards in the area of financial statement audits and in other type of assurance services. Out of the following, which one point is not correct about why standards are needed? Chapter number 1, right? Nature, scope and objective. In that, why standards are needed, in our classes in my material I've asked you a question itself, right? In that they're saying first one, standard ensure audit quality. Yes, for sure. Second thing, standards equip professional accountants with professional knowledge and skill. Definitely, yes, correct. Third, standards promote what? Uniformity as audit of financial statement is carried out following these standards. Pakka. Standards ensure carrying out of audit against established benchmarks and at par with local practices. This is where they have gone wrong. Local practices. Yes, so this is not correct. Why? We are at par with global practice. If you remember, students of my class, what we have discussed that we have to be at par with what? Global standards, right? That is why we were learning as to how we and the global standards are almost similar, right? So definitely answer is D. Here, next. RDB and Co have been appointed as statutory auditors of INA group of hotels. This is the first time the firm is auditing an industry in food and beverage. The engagement partner CAR and other key members of the engagement team have undertaken the activity of development of an audit plan of INA hotels after thorough understanding the hotel's business and its environment. As per SA 300, description of which of the following matters is not a part of developing an audit plan. So when you're developing an audit plan, 3 points are there. You have to have NTE of planned RAP. That is nature, timing and extent of planned risk assessment procedure will be there. NTE of further audit procedures will be there, and other planned audit procedures will be there. What is not there? Nature, timing and extent of resources necessary to perform the engagement is not there. So option C is the right answer. Third one, the board of directors of a company wanted the auditor to certify export sales during the year for submitting to the authorities. The auditor also signed confirmation letters to be sent to various debtors and creditors for confirming their balances as on 31/3/2024. Now, UDIN is required to be generated by the auditor for what point? Unique document identification number. We have discussed in the class when we discussed ethics part, right? We have to generate UDIN. Now UDIN is required for what? Very good question. Very good question. UDIN is required whenever you are certifying, because when you certify, you're telling that this information that I'm giving is true and correct. Clear? So in that case, for which particular point UDIN is applicable? Confirmation letters, UDIN not applicable. Export sales during the year, certificate only because you're certifying. So for this, UDIN is definitely applicable. Both confirmation as well as certificate. And no UDIN, this is wrong answer. Right now, there could be some of them where you find an answer where they're telling, sir, confirmation letters also we have to give. If you remember in our class, we had discussed that confirmation letters, when you're talking to debtors and creditors, these are outside people. right? So you have to go through the management. Clear? So you have to tell the management, in the management letterhead, through their letterhead, we will be asking the information. So where are we signing and sending? Clear? So this is my opinion, right? We'll have to wait for the suggested answers to see. So as far as I am concerned, for me, the answer is answer number or option number B, right? For case scenario number 1. GHB Limited, a listed company having its registered office at New Delhi, is in the business of blending, processing, packing, selling various brands of tea. BPP and Co. LLP chartered accountants are appointed as stat auditors for the financial year 23-24. CAB is the engagement partner for the assignment. Company has centralized warehouse, etc. Okay, where Himachal Pradesh border. Attendance is impracticable, and it also became impossible for CAB to perform alternative audit procedure. SA 501. Come on, SA 501. Yes. To obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the existence and condition of the inventory, right, sir? The company had spent huge amount on employee benefits. Hence, CAB instructed his assistants to test the control that the company had set around the employee benefit expenses. After being satisfied with the controls maintained by the company, he instructed his team to bifurcate, meaning divide, the employee benefit expenses into salary, wages, contribution to PF, ESOP, ECP, ESPP, staff welfare expenses, etc. Okay, the engagement partner CAB, while evaluating, validating and reporting on the design and efficiency of IFC at GHB, also impressed upon the directors, independent directors and audit committee the way in which Companies Act has placed a greater effect. Emphasis on the effective implementation and reporting on internal controls. Due to time constraint, CAB is under pressure to issue a clean report in the limited time frame. He has insufficient time to properly perform or complete the relevant duties. Right? Board of Directors wants to certify the debtors. Meaning board wants CA to certify the debtor to be sent to the bank without checking. Wow. CAB agrees, as most of the professional income of BPP and Co. LLP comes from GHB. Okay, that means these are dependent on their fees, right? Now the question is, what do they want? Very good question. Let's try and understand. Due to tight deadlines, CAB has insufficient time to properly perform or complete the relevant duties, and he has to sign off clean audit report. Which fundamental principle governing professional ethics as is disregarded? Sir, due care, professional competence is what he has disregarded. Meaning what? You do not have time, but still you have to take care. No, we discussed in the class that time constraint itself should not be a reason for you to give wrong audit report. You should still try to do as much as possible. You have to take care. Clear? So answer option number B. Undue dependence on their fees creates which type of threat? Self-interest threat. Clear? Clearly, we have also discussed this in the class. If you are totally dependent, in fact, we had discussion in the class. We had a case where we had discussed if one of the client is totally, a big client of yours, and he comes and influences you to give wrong audit report, what will you do? Students, if you remember, it is a self-interest threat. Next, since it became impracticable for CAB on 31st March to attend physical inventory counting, now what opinion we have to give? We have understood that, remember, 4-column notes we had studied where attendance is impracticable was a 3rd column. In that we had discussed if attendance is impracticable, you have to perform alternative audit procedures. If alternative audit procedure also not possible, then it is better you modify the opinion. Now we have 3 types of modification: QAD, qualified, adverse and disclaimer. Clear? But we are not getting into that. What have they asked? What type of opinion we have to give? We have to give modified opinion. Option number D. Right? Next, which assertion concerning the bifurcation of employee expenses is being verified? Sir, disclosure in your financial statements, you can't just write employee benefit expense. You have to give in notes to accounts, you have to give employee benefit expense. What are the different type of expenses that you have? Eighth one, with reference to reporting on IFC, Internal Financial Control System, under Companies Act, which of the following does not fall within the nature of responsibility of GHB? GHB means here management. So from management perspective, what is their responsibility? Director's responsibility statement, DRS. Clear? Section number 134, subsection 5E. Clear? Now their director's responsibility statement clearly falls within the scope. Clear? Second, in accordance with the terms of reference specified in writing by the board, act of every audit committee to include evaluation of IFC and risk management system. This technically, it is clearly given in section 177, audit committee. Clear? Yes, audit committee also has some responsibility. C. Board of Directors to appoint an expert to state that internal financial control are commensurate as per size and nature of its business. Now, this is where my answer is. Clear? In terms of code for independent directors to get themselves satisfied that financial control and system of risk management are robust and defensible. Obviously, director's responsibility, independent directors also will come into the picture. Now, my answer is C, right? Some might tell, no, sir. Answer is D. Some might tell answer is B. Now, I feel in this particular question, now students have gone for inky pinky ponky, I am a donkey. Clear, huh? Let's wait and see for suggested answers. So, according to me, it is point number C. Okay. Case scenario number 2. Mrs. Christian Company is a firm of what? Chartered accountants based in Punjab. CAKRISH. Okay. Basically, Christian. That is what they have done. Are partners of the firm. Firm is engaged in various audit assignments. Engagement partners who are handling their respective assignments for the financial year 23-24 dealt with the following issues raised during the concerns. Okay, what is that? They are the joint auditors. Okay, then they have divided their audit areas and have identified the common audit areas which will be applicable to all joint auditors. Essay. Tell me the essay. In your mind only you tell, no problem. 2, 9, 9. Very good. Then, while forming the opinion, CAK had a different opinion, whereas the other two firms shared the same opinion. Both of them contended that as they were forming a majority, Mrs. Christian Co will have to agree with their opinion. We have already discussed. Sir, forget about MCQ. You tell me the concept. If in joint audit, if there is a difference of opinion, what do we do? Usually common audit report. But if there is a difference of opinion, for those matters where you don't have difference of opinion, common audit report. For difference of opinion matter, give a separate report. Very good. CARS conducted a statutory audit of Pawan Limited. He observed that during their company has issued shares at premium and has transferred the amount to SPA, Securities Premium Account. Section number 52, Companies Act. He wants to ensure that Pawan Limited has utilized the amount available in the SPA for purposes permitted under the Companies Act. Okay. Now we have to check the question for that. Registrar of Cooperative Society has appointed Mr. Chris and Co. as the auditor of Nand Cooperative Society for the financial year 23-24. CAI is looking after the audit said registered society. During the year, in terms of Section 34 of the Cooperative Societies Act, with the sanction of registrar, society has contributed for charitable purposes. Okay. Now, CAI is ensuring whether requirements as regards to contribution has been complied with or no. You tell me, without MCQ, what should be the contribution? Not exceeding 10%. Right. Next, all the engagement partners and the audit team of Mrs. Christian Co. have deliberations and discussions every week through Google Meet. Very good. Yes. To review the progress of their respective assignments. During the last such meet, CASH, the managing partner, briefed to the team about the form, content and extent of documentation. SA 230, while citing examples of records to be excluded as well as to be included as a part of audit documentation. Okay, now what do you want, sir? Number 1, which of the following need not be included by the audit team as a part of audit documentation? See, checklist is there, summary of significant matter is there, significant and specific contracts and agreement is there, draft engagement letter is not there because we put final engagement letter. Once everything is approved, yeah, only that final engagement letter is what we put. Draft can be changed, no? So why do we put that? Answer is A, option A. In case of difference of opinion, what do we do? We have already solved this. Option what? Number D, issue a separate audit report and the audit report issued by the joint auditor shall make a reference to each other's audit report. If you remember one diagram we had drawn in the class, right? Next, SPA cannot be applied for what purpose? If you remember, B square EP square, bonus, buyback, expenses, right? Premium payable and preliminary expense. In this, debit balance of P&L will not come, sir. Clear? Answer is B. Next, CAI, who is in charge of audit of Nand Cooperative Society, wants to ensure that society has contributed for charitable purposes. What is the answer? Told you, not exceeding 10%. Contribute an amount not exceeding 10% of the net profits remaining after compulsory transfer. Transfer here we have to do it. We have studied properly that here transfer is mandatory and not the optional. We had cross-referred and studied. What cross-reference we had given? Section number 123, dividend. There you will be transferring or you may transfer. But here we have to transfer. On cross-reference studies we had done. Clear? Right? Now, this specifically this point in the material in the which we had discussed in the class, underlined. Correctly underlined. Check. Okay. Next. Case scenario number 3. Mega Power Limited is a manufacturer of solar lanterns which are used in remote villages where there is no reliable supply of electricity. Come on. However, due to power projects undertaken by the government, the demand for their solar lanterns significantly declined over the past few years. Why, sir? Story. Next, company was in need of 2 crores of working capital. Okay. Then and other expenses but was not able to fund this amount. Consequently, their suppliers were paid much later than usual and then some of them withdrew the credit terms. Okay, supplier withdrew their support, right? Somewhere we can see SA 570 going concern. Okay, then this created a severe cash crunch, and the auditor feels other than the cash crunch, there are several other financial indicators that cast a significant doubt on company ability to continue as going concern. This is what I say SA 570 flavor. Yeah? The management of the company, however, assures the auditor that this is temporary and the situation will change soon as they are planning to diversify their business. They are ready to provide WR for the same. But still, the auditor feels that the material uncertainty still exists. The auditor wants the management to make adequate disclosure. Okay. The auditor wants to include a separate section about this in the audit report. He is also contemplating about the kind of audit report that should be issued. Okay, sir, what we are supposed to do now? The auditor has concerns about ethical values and diligence of management. He is concerned about reliability of representations made by management. SA 580 WR. The auditor is of the opinion that the WR from the management is not reliable. I will highlight this again. Right. Now, what are the questions, sir? Financial events or conditions that may cause significant doubt on entity's ability to continue as going concern does not include. Okay, sir. What? Inability to pay creditors on due date, financial indicator. Comply with term of loan agreements, financial indicator. Important supply, operational indicator, sir. Not a financial indicator. See, sir, this is like treat. Next, which in this, sir, 13th question in my material column, first column, second column, third column. In second column, it is there. Check. Which kind of audit report will the auditor issue if the use of going concern basis of accounting is appropriate, but a material uncertainty exists and adequate disclosure made? Sir, on this we had so many permutation combination discussion in the class, right? What did we say? If remember the good boy concept we used. Clear? We all also discussed that if you do something wrong and you tell you are a good boy, we can correct it later. But if you lie, you are a bad boy. That's what we discussed, right? In SA 570, reporting responsibilities. So here, use of going concern is appropriate. Okay. Material uncertainty exists. Adequate disclosure made. So for key point here is going concern is appropriate, material uncertainty exists, adequate disclosure made. What opinion? Good boy opinion, that is unmodified. Here. Next, if the auditor is of the opinion that WR is not reliable, what kind of opinion should be issued by him? Now this is little confusing. This question is little confusing because in SA 580, the conclusion is if WR is not reliable, then standard says that you have to evaluate the implications on the report as respect to SA 705. Meaning they're telling you have to think about modification. Which type of modification is what? Missing in SA 580. Now, here they have given adverse and disclaimer. Here, now there they have also told that they have ended the sentence saying you evaluate your implications on the report as per SA 705. Including the disclaimer part. Correct? Huh? Now, not these words. Now, don't see the video and then tell, sir, this is the same word is not there in the standard. Concept wise, they have mentioned disclaimer of opinion there. Okay. So, as far as I am concerned, for me, the answer would be B, disclaimer of opinion. Logically also, was whatever you are writing and giving it to me, I am not trusting that. If I am not trusting that, definitely C and D is waste. Unmodified opinion, I cannot give at all. I have trust issues with you. If I have trust issues with you, how can I tell you are good? Right? So it should either be adverse or disclaimer as per the question paper. I would say it should be disclaimer in this particular thing. But let's wait for suggested answers and see what they have to say. As far as I am concerned, disclaimer of opinion. Right? Okay. So this is your MCQ part, and I feel MCQ part scoring 25 if you have studied properly, if you have revised properly, and if you have done your part properly, 25 minimum you can score out of MCQ. Clear? And out of the descriptive, which we will be discussing soon, not today though, which we'll be discussing soon, then if you can score around 35-40, was exemption is yours. Clear? So MCQ evaluation done. Wait for the descriptive one. We'll come back soon. Definitely with the descriptive analysis of CA Inter Auditing and Ethics, September 2024. But till then, you don't worry about what I have written in descriptive one, right? MCQ one, don't sit and evaluate your marks now. This was just a review of today's exam. Just take it as a review only. Clear? Study for FM and SM, score really good marks there, right? And I hope to see you in CA finals as soon as possible. It means as soon as possible is very next. In the upcoming results, I want you to clear in your CA Inter, and I will see you there. Thank you.